What are you doing? Psst. What are you doing, kitty kitty? Huh? Hey everybody, it's Aquila, and this is episode 205 of a Lefty Knitter podcast, coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. Cats, kids, husband, all the things. This is a podcast where I try to record weekly, through the week, slop it all together, getting this crazy, like, dust in the light. Sorry. So I try to record clips through the week, post them, and, lump them all together and post them. I said it 3 times in a very odd way. Okay. I like to knit. I like to do stuff with fiber. I have just recently started doing another project, and I'm going to show you guys all of that right here. First, let's see. I had inserted some clips maybe in the beginning of our cute kitty cat Luna, and also we went to the rodeo. It rained. Luckily, the downpour rain was before the rodeo started, so we didn't have to sit in that, but it still was a mist the whole time. Rodeos happen, rain or shine. They don't stop. It just makes the events different, and probably the conditions are way different, so the cowboys and cowgirls, cow people, that sounds weird, have to adapt and adjust, right? So let's show you guys some knitting. So I told you guys I had bought that inversible set from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. I haven't announced a winner. I'm going to do that though, soon. Here is the inversible set. You get 2 50-gram hanks. One of the stripes have a color where this one, the majority is pink and the stripes are wider, and then the other one, the opposite color is wider stripes, and yeah, they're really cool. So I ended up can't remember, Deco lace mitts. That's what I'm making. Did I write the designer down? Let's see. It looks like I didn't, but everything I mentioned will be listed down below. Oh, look, I got a new watch band. Isn't that fun? Okay, sorry. Sidetracked. Now I have a cat next to me. I had mentioned that I wanted to make the Deco lace mitts, and I have not fully finished the first one. I'm making the middle size because they're going to be for Haze, but look how cute these are. So you can see where the stripes are wider. Yes, I'm using dental floss to hold my stitches. It's okay. I just have to do the thumb, and I started the second one, and so you can see the stripes are the opposite. That's fun. Those are so fun. These were really an easy knit, so I'm a lefty knitter. I have to follow the charts the opposite direction and or switch the written directions if needed, right? So all I have to do is read the chart backwards, which is really nice. And because it is a symmetrical chart, even if I didn't do that, it would have been fine. Yay! I love that. It was a very easy knit, in my opinion, for doing lace work. So if you were looking for some mitts to do that have a little bit of interest, here you go. It's like a 8-row repeat. 8 rows. I still can't get it in my head, and I just have a snapshot of the chart. So I don't have to have the pattern up. I can just look at a snapshot on my phone of the chart. So there you go. Dryer's done. All right, so let's see. The other thing that the super swirl shawl, I wanted to show you guys that I blocked it. I wove in my ends, and I am going to add all the little extras. So there's a crochet border at the top. There's tassels. Not sure on the tassels yet, but I am going to do the little embroidery triangles. But I did want to show you guys how nicely this blocked out, because I don't think I ended up taking it off the needles last time to show you it blocked. Because I was like, oh, it doesn't stretch that far. I am barely holding the tips, so it's my wingspan at this point. I think it's beautiful. I will put it on real quick so you guys can get an idea. So in the stockinette sections, you can do some embroidery of triangles, and I'm going to do that. So I need to pick which color I want in the yellow and which color I want in the green. And I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I might do this oatmeal-y color in the green and do the magenta color in the yellow, but I'm not sure yet. I might do the green in the yellow. I don't know. Or I could alternate. I could do what I want. It's my pattern. It's not my pattern. It's my shawl. So there you go. I love it. I think it's really pretty. So, and I think, you know, you won't see the detail so much of those embroidered triangles, but I think it will be a really nice addition to the shawl. So I'm still thinking about, oh, and then what color would I do at the top of the crochet border then? I don't know. I don't want to outline it with the magenta at the top because then the whole thing is like the same color. So I'm not sure. I'll have to like hold up colors to it and see what I think. Like snip some ends and just maybe embroider, you know, do a little bit of a running stitch in it just to see what it looks like. And that'll give me a good idea. Because I have enough yarn of all of these. And so what I think I'm going to do is on my Earlbacker, I'm going to put my 48 stitch on and I'm going to crank a pair of socks with all those colors in it. And then I'll have a matching pair of socks to go with my shawl. I was gifted by Andy the Shifting Chevron shawl and I cast it on. Remember I told you guys about that yellow yarn last time that I really wanted to use it. I thought as a pop of color. Well, I am using it. So I've started it. I've only gotten 3 sections done. Well, really, you do this tab and then you do all your sections. So I have a tab. That's my color A. And then, well, you do color A with a tiny little section, then B, and then, oh no, you don't. I'm a big fat liar. That's big. I'm lying. Your tab is A, but then your first section, because there's 7 sections, you start with color B. It's getting really blown out. There you go. It was a little fiddly, I think, that first section. And then it looks much better in my second section, so I feel like I know what I'm doing better, like more. So we'll see. My other colors are all up there and I haven't wound them yet. We're leaving for the Outer Banks. Oh, if I didn't mention, this is a Stephen West shawl. We're leaving to go to the Outer Banks. But putting 7 balls of yarn in a bag. So we're taking our camper. So obviously I could skein them or cake them all up, put them in their, excuse me, own separate bag, and then just shove that bag in the camper, and then it'll be like camper knitting, not driving knitting, because like driving knitting, I don't know if I would want to do that for driving knitting. It's too much going on and switching of color, and I don't have enough space like in the front seat to do that. So I don't know what I'm taking for that. I have my sock cast on, I have the gloves, I'll probably finish those and while we're there, and then hair is stuck, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay. This is the biggest, so we got home from the rodeo was Saturday. I decided, I think I had even done the first one before Saturday. Now I can't remember. But I dyed up more and I did all the rest of the 4 blanks that I had. I told you guys I wanted to do like did I tell you that? My watercolor with the blobulous shapes, the blobulous circles, with the thick and thin lines. I wanted to translate that into a sock blank. Now my idea for these was dyeing the sock blank, say this is the whole sock blank. I wanted to dye it so it was, gosh, I can't think of the word, where it's like mom, dad, you know, the words that go back and forth. I wanted it to be a gradient, and I wanted it to go from one color to, you know, with however many colors in the middle, and then go back to that color. I'll put the word of what that means up here, because I can't think. My brain's up. And I did that for the reasoning of these are single sock lengths. And if you want to have semi-matching socks, you could do that because you could knit from, you could undo the sock blank and you could knit from both ends of the skein or the cake and have 2 semi-matching socks, mittens, etc. If you did a musselburgh with it, musselburgh, you would have the end to end of the hat when you tucked it in would match. I also thought it would be beautiful if you used it in a colorwork for a sweater. You could have, you know, it would go from the gradient and then it would go back to the first color. So in my head, that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to do the whole sock blank and do, like, if you did a rainbow, you wouldn't, like, half the sock, you wouldn't have 2 matching socks. Not that everybody's all about the matching of socks, but I just felt like it would be easier to, like, market these in the sense of you could have 2 matching items. So the first one I did is probably my favorite. So this one goes from this, and didn't realize the pans weren't cleaned very well. So this one both has blue stripe on the end. It's all right. I will figure out how to either discount it or keep it or whatever. So this goes from like an orange to a pink to a purple, and then it goes back again, right? So you get, it goes back. Now my blobulous shapes aren't gonna match, but I don't think that's gonna mess up the integrity of the look. I love this one. Like, I love this one. And I'm not even like a super pink girl, but this, I think just my combination of using, so when I did this one, the dark, like, I want to go lighter because if I go super dark, you can't see the shapes or the hand painting. So if I use a color from the gradient, I feel like it makes it cohesive. So I used just a darker version of this middle color when I made my my gel hand dye for painting. So that's number 1. Now, I won't talk as much about the others. I don't know, because I just won't. Then the second gradient I dyed, and I loved the gradient, and then I messed up because I didn't use one of the colors from the gradient, and I used a different green, and I feel like it's just not as cohesive. And I didn't have enough water in the pan, so it's kind of got like speckly blotchies, which is fine. I think that looks cool. I'm not opposed to it. I just feel like I don't love the green that I chose to use. I wish I would have used one of the dyes to then just make a less concentrated version for the hand painting. Okay, so there's number 2. And then I went away from my blobulous shapes and I wanted to try something different. And honestly, they're okay. I don't hate them. They're just, I love the freeform-ness of the shapes. I really enjoyed doing those. So the third one I did, I was like, oh, let's do kind of like fall colors. I know it's like getting ready to be summer, but let's do some fall colors. And then I decided to paint jack-o'-lanterns on them. So it goes from kind of a mauvey brown to orange to another color of brown, back to orange to brown, and then that mauvey color. It's so hard to show these because they want to curl on themselves. So I apologize that it's difficult to sometimes see all my drawings. And on this one, I did use black dye because while it was wet, it still looked really dark and I was worried. And so I was like, let's do black. So I did black. Okay, one more. And you guys have kind of probably seen previews of all of these because I can't help myself and I have to post stuff on Instagram. So this one, I really wanted to go with like a pastel look for the gradient, and that I did achieve that. And I'm calling this one my Mystic sock blank because it kind of has like all the witchy, crystally vibes. So this one goes from blue to pink to yellow and orange. Like orange and then yellow, maybe. Then back. And I've written these all down in case somebody really liked the background combination. And then for this one, I know purple is not in here, but I already had the purple mixed and I thought it would be a really pretty contrast. So you have just some stars and moons and different crystal shapes, planets. So there's a heart. Yeah, so this one is kind of like a huge mishmash of stuff that I would call mystic. I don't know. Okay, so I think they're really fun. I hope other people are going to like them too. I really want to buy more sock blanks, but I need to put these in the shop and see how well they even do, or get the reception of you all if you're interested. Again though, I think I'm gonna probably stick to my circle-y shapes. I don't know, I just think it looked really cool, like in my opinion. I enjoyed doing those and not having to stick to like, oh, this has to look like a crystal and this has to look like a jack-o'-lantern. I could just go with the flow. I hope that makes sense. It was easier for me to just like do it. And somebody I had posted a reel and they're like, your circles look so great. My freehand circles. And I was like, oh man, thank you. Like, I never really just attempted to draw circles before. And it is not the easiest painting on yarn. I'm just going to say it. It's not the easiest to do. I mean, it's not difficult. And I think it takes time and patience and, you know, all the things of that nature. So if you're interested in doing it, I say heck yeah, try it. And there's tons of videos on there, especially Chemknits. Rebecca from Chemknits, she shows you, she does stenciling and stuff, so she tells you exactly what her mix is of the, I can't remember what product she uses because I think it's a different one than she uses guar gum, I think, and I bought so is it, I don't think it's sodium alginate. I don't think that's right. I don't know why that just came in my head, but I bought something different than she uses, and I'm not quite sure if she's even used the one that I'm using. So I just read it in another blog or something. Yeah. All right. I've been talking a lot, and I'm not really gonna. I don't really know how much more I'm gonna show you for this episode, so stay tuned because it's Thursday already. I probably didn't mention that, the 18th, and we'll be at the beach on my normal Saturday posting day. So we'll see. Okay. On that note, yeah, I hope you're all well, and I'll see you in the next clip. It is now Monday. It is Memorial Day here in the US, so that is one thing that if you have family in the military or have passed away in the military, just it's a whole day of remembrance and thankfulness for their service. So that's where we are today. We got back from the Outer Banks, and I have some things to show you that I've worked on, and I also acquired a few things. So let's get into that. Let's just say our Outer Banks trip was not quite the normal Outer Banks trip because we had some crazy weather. We even stayed an extra day. The winds were a little crazy pulling the camper, and then the water was a little crazy, but we're home and we're okay, and that's the thick of it. So let me just start by showing you what I worked on, and then in case you don't want to see the things that I acquired, you don't have to watch that. I will put video at the end, the very little bit of video that I got from vacation that I took. So I just didn't I wasn't so focused on that, and I haven't been lately when we go out places and do things. I'm more focused on the interactions and not like always having to document it. So just, you know, truth right there. Sorry, my hair, I went to bed with it wet last night, so it's just like crazy pants. Let me show you what I worked on though. So I ended up taking my socks from, the yarn is from Barley Hops and Yarn, and it is the Camden Yards colorway. It's, no. Dang it, I mess that up every time. Okay. Let me just show you what I got. All the information is always down below. So, I was here. I had the cuff, and I had this up to here done. So the first day, driving down, we split the trip in half, and we stayed in a Cracker Barrel parking lot, and that's, you know, it's accessible to campers. If you have a camper and you need to stay overnight somewhere, they don't mind. They just appreciate if you buy breakfast in the morning, or maybe dinner before you go to bed if you're rolling out super early. So from there to there was driving from home to Cracker Barrel, so, which was about 3-4 hours down in Virginia. So that was that much. Birdland. I think she calls it Birdland. Oh gosh, terrible. I'm so sorry, Jen. The next day, driving from there to the Outer Banks, I was switching between some of these, but I got from here to right before the toe decreases. And then I decreased the toe that first night when we got there. So I didn't get as much done the second day. That's what I got. So I'm going to keep sticking with this even though it jumps in time. So while we were camping, I ended up casting on at least the cuff so I could knit just in the round. I actually got a little more than the cuff done. So I had gotten done, hi bud, I had gotten the cuff and up to this stitch marker done. That was just in one day. I didn't pick it up until like the second to last day. So I got to there. And then on the trip home, which was a very long trip, lots of standing water, lots of people that, you don't want to go fast anyway, but they were going so slow that we were afraid we might have to stop in this 2 feet of water, this standing water, and we were worried about it sucking up in the exhaust, etc. And then, oh, it's just whatever. We made it. John was, well, amazing because I know it was nerve-wracking. So I got from this white marker all the way to here, and I've been marking every 20 rows, and this is the last grouping of 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm 12 rows away before I start my toe, and then I'll have my toe, and then I just got to cut in my heels. So I'll have that done. That's very exciting because these I cast on, I don't remember exactly. I cast them on for a trip so I could knit like in the round easily. And then I just haven't picked them up. So if you've been following, you might remember when I started them. The other thing I worked on just the tiniest bit was Hazel's gloves, the Art Deco mitts that I'm using the Fiber Nymph Dye Works yarn. And I am pretty sure you guys saw that I cast on the second one. So yeah, number 1, I don't have the thumb in. Number 2, I think I was right here at the ghosty because I wouldn't have put a stitch marker. And that is all I did. Doing the lace while driving, I could have done it. I just didn't. So I didn't get much done on that. So I'll move ghosty and you guys can see my progress on that for hopefully the next episode. Because sitting down watching TV is when I finished that other one pretty fast. So yeah, that's what I got. And then this project, I told you guys I was going to pack it. I already showed you the yarn. I am not quite done. I need to block it, and I need to put an I-cord in it. I need to make an I-cord, which I'm going to do on my knitting machine, and then I need to block it. But this was the fiber seed yarn that was dyed by Reese, polka dot alligator. And this is a cowl by Shana Line's Designs. This is the I'm not going to remember. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. Down below, held together, cowl. I don't think that's quite right. So you have the top part, which has the folded hem. The only thing I did differently is I didn't do the provisional. I just picked up my cast on edge and knit it together. That's the only thing I didn't follow in the pattern. So it has 2 eyelet holes here to put an I-cord in. And yeah, it's this beautiful ribbed cowl that does increase at some point. So it increases and it's a little wider at the bottom. And this just looks really pretty. It's really pretty. But this is almost a finished object. It's almost finished. It's crazy. This was such a quick knit. So if anybody's looking for a 1 skein project, I'm assuming you could hold fingering double to do it because it's a DK weight project. So if you have that 1 skein that you're just like, I don't know what to do with it, here you go. Again, it'll all be down there. So let's quickly, on the way down, I'll insert a video here. Knit, crochet, knitting boutique. So that was the store Knitting Addiction, which I never get to go to because I shouldn't say I never get to go to it. Okay. So on the way down to where we go for vacation, we go way south. We go all the way to Hatteras Island. We're all the way at the bottom. So if you look at a map, you can see where we go and we stay. Well, Knitting Addiction is further up on the island. So it's up near Kitty Hawk. And so once you hit Kitty Hawk and it splits for 12 north, 12 south, you hit 12 south, it's a whole nother about hour, maybe hour and 15 minutes, maybe hour and a half. So it splits off and you can go to Manio and you can go down towards like Avon and Buxton and Hatteras. We're all the way down. So for us to leave to go all the way back up to Knitting Addiction, normally we don't go that far north again unless there's a reason that we want to go that far north. So we had we're pulling the camper, and right next to where Knitting Addiction was a dental office, and it was a Saturday. So we pulled in and we parked there. We figured we would be fine, and we went in, and I got to finally go into that store. So I did make some purchases, and the store next to it had resin kits. I bought this kit. Oh, I can't undo it. I don't even know what's in this box yet fully, but it comes with a frame, and you could get the frame pre-printed with an image, but I didn't. So I'm going to make up something. And I have the whole resin kit to do it. His stuff was beautiful and amazing, and it was right next door to Knitting Addiction. So if you go down there. So John bought me this cute little bag. It's a sunbathing sheep. So this is going to end up being a Notions bag for one of my bigger bags. I'm not sure yet. It's just a real simple zipper pouch. It's cute. And while I was there, I was like, I'd like to make a cotton top. That would be kind of fun. They had all kinds of yarns, but they had I know I've used this yarn before and I've pronounced the name wrong, but it's the Araucana. Maybe that's probably wrong, but it's a cotton. So this is a cotton. So I got 2 skeins of this. I'm going to try to find the picture. I believe it is a top by Jessie May, and it's a ripple top, and I bought yarn to do that, so I'll insert here. I'm pretty sure I know which one I was looking at, but I bought 2 skeins of this. It is a fingering weight 100% cotton, and its color is Machu Picchu. 1014 is the color. They had a lot of really pretty colors, but this one just, I don't know. I liked that it wasn't purple and pink, or pink and blue, or blue and pink, or purple and blue. I don't remember the combinations I had said, but this one had different colors in it. So it has some browns and oranges. It has orange in the bottom. It just was different. So I purchased this one. These were $18.50 a skein. But then I saw these bowls, and I heard of wool stock before. Blue Sky Fibers, wool stock bundles. I saw them somewhere on a podcast, I believe. These are mini hanks. These are worsted weight, and they're 12 yards each. Right? So you get so many of each color in the bundle. And I thought they were really pretty interesting. Now, this was a $35 bundle, and I believe you got 21 hanks. 21 mini hanks. Okay? But next to the mini hanks, they had a pattern, and she gave me the pattern, which was very nice. And so it is these bowls. Felted bowls. It makes 3 bowls. One bundle will make 3 bowls, a large, a medium, and a small. I believe. Small and large. Oh, I thought she said it made 3. Now I don't know. She had a set of 3 set up. I guess I'll just have to see when make it. Using this is quick set of mini hanks will create 2 little bowls. She had 3 though. I wonder if there's enough that she just made a 3rd one. Either way, I bought them. Okay, so this will be in my future because I don't know if I'm going to keep them or gift them, make them and keep them and gift them, whatever. So once we're down there, the Blue Pelican is down there. I'll try to insert here an iCard. I think it's on this side. It might be on this side. And I interviewed Jenn, who is the owner of the Blue Pelican, a couple years ago when I was down there. So if you all recall, and if I can find that video, I will show my haul of the yarn I got last time. And it was a fill-a-bag. You fill it a bag. So the shop will end up, any yarns that are discounted or aren't moving or aren't selling well, they'll put them at the front of the shop. And now the Blue Pelican is not just a yarn shop. They have other stuff too, like a gift shop. So at the front of the store in the main hallway on the floor are bins, and it's fill a bag. Fill a bag for $35 or fill a bag for $75, and it's 2 different size bags. Last year, like I said, I'll attempt to find that video. I got a great deal. I mean, it was amazing. This year, I think I got a great deal also. So while I was there, I didn't know I wasn't sure about the yarn. So the first time we went in, I took a picture of the label and I was like, all right, let me go back and I'll research this yarn. Sorry, I'm having a second cup of coffee. Hold on. So, yeah. I looked up the label, I found the yarn on Ravelry, and then I was looking at projects. Well, while I was looking for projects, I found that people had made the ranunculus with this. Insert picture here. And let me just be clear. The main picture for the ranunculus is not... It does not inspire me. I'm just going to say that. I'm just saying it. I'm saying it. I'm going to be truthful. It doesn't inspire me. I've seen people make the ranunculus. I've heard people talk about it, and they love the pattern. They love the pattern just as much as they love the love note, right? It's like, people love it. People adore it. And I was like, okay. Well, it came up with this yarn. And I'm like, okay. So I could make a summer ranunculus. The thing that like really bothers me about the picture is the girl looks like she's drowning in this sweater. I don't know. It just throws me off. I can't help it. But the people that have made this pattern with this yarn, I don't know if they tightened it up or they did a smaller size so it wasn't so oversized. My plan will probably be is to do a gauge swatch. Then I don't want it to be super like big at the top, so I might end up casting on for one size smaller for the top, but increase to the size that I need for like the bust and the body, because I want the neckline to be pulled in. Oh, I bought this at Blue Pelican. It has sand from the beach in it. And turquoise. And I just thought that was beautiful. I look at them every year and I finally caved. Okay. back to fill a bag. Fill a bag for $35. Fill a bag. This is a big bag. This is the yarn. Now, I've used Elizabeth Lavold, but I used a different yarn of hers, and I held it with like a mohair, and I made Hazel a hat. If I can find a picture of that, I'll put it in here. So I liked the yarn line. I didn't know about this line. But this is the Hempathy. Let me find one that doesn't have a sticker. Oh, okay. This one doesn't have a sticker. Hempathy. Okay. Adorable cotton, hemp, and modal blend. Right? It is 50 grams, 140 meters, 153 yards, number 2. Right? So it's like a sport / DK is what on Ravelry. I think they listed this more in the DK range. It says 22 stitches to 4 inches on US 4s. Okay? So 153 yards. I said that. It is a 41 cotton, 34 hemp, and 25 modal. Okay? They were originally priced $9. They were then marked down to $5. Then I fit 24 of these in there. 24. $35. It comes to like $1. I don't think it was quite $1.50. Very inexpensive. I got 4 of each color because when I looked at the tops, there was also another tank top. Can't remember the name of it. I will insert a picture here and put it down below. I loved this tank top. I think it's really beautiful, and I think I need like 3, possibly 4 for that. So I figured most, of these summer tops, I need that range. Okay? So here's my colors. I got, like I said, 6 colors, 4 of each. This is Rose Quartz. This is Red Violet. Then I got Dark Turquoise. I also got Limestone. I got Bright Lime Green. And I got Maple Leaf. This is like, they're beautiful. And if I have leftovers, I'm going to make a stripy top. That's what's going to happen. Okay? Okay. Okay. I even texted my knitting group, my local knitting group, and was like, fill a bag. The other yarn they had was Juniper Moon Farm Beatrix, and it was an Aran, no, it was a bulky weight, and it was pretty, and it was like a blown yarn, like it was blown into the tube. I just wasn't sure. I looked up the yarn and patterns that people have made. The Felix pullover was one, or the Felix. Some people used it for that. It just didn't. I was like, now I'll just do this. I'll just stick to this. I really don't need yarn, but I bought yarn. Okay, so let me talk about. We get down there, and a viewer had messaged us and was like, I live on Hatteras Island. And I said, well, you want to meet at the Blue Pelican? And we ended up meeting there the second time. But the first time we met down at the marina where her husband works. And this is a woman named Holly. So hi, Holly. And it was so nice to meet you. And we hung out quite a few times. Super nice. Like, nicest, giving, like person. So she is going to be starting a company, her own business also. I don't want to give away all her thunder, but it's just, it's all in the works, right? So it's Wildflower Honey Fiber Company, and I'll link down below and you can go follow Holly. And she was super nice, and she gave me some yarn that she dyed. And now this is called Forget Me Not. And she says she really likes the really pastel-y feel, the watercolor feel, and I think that's great. Like, you gotta dye what you like, you gotta do what you want. And so, and then of course it's like flower themed. I think she's gonna have a few that are like flowers, like a line that's just flowers. So this is Forget Me Not. Isn't it so pretty? And the speckles. Oh, thank you. And, I mean, she also gave me some tools that she's like, I don't know when I'm ever going to use them. So I thank you for that. And when I do end up using them, I'll talk about it and show you. Quilling tools. So if you've ever seen paper quilling, that's so interesting. So a little bit of that, some yarn for punch needle, and some punch needles that were smaller. Like, I think that it's meant more for embroidery thread or fingering weight yarn. So I'm excited about that too, because I really do enjoy punch needle. And honestly, I mean, Hazel really likes doing it. I was telling Holly about that, and she was like, well, I have these that I'm never going to use. So I was like, really? Are you sure? She's like, yes. So I was like, okay, so that's up there. I have to put stuff away still. We're doing like so much laundry. It rained so much, and I didn't pack correctly. And I'm usually an overpacker, and I was an overpacker, but I overpacked too many tank tops and shorts. And we needed long pants and sweatshirts, and we were wet and soaked through to the bone. I mean, we had a great time. Hazel had a great time, but yeah, we hung out. And then, of course, I mean, I can't even thank Holly enough, because like we got some fish to take home. Oh my God. It's going to be like fish taco season, like for the next 5 months. It's insane. It was overwhelmingly generous. So, if you ever get down there, and, you know, you should follow Holly, and you guys can you can hang out, because it was really an awesome time. So she went with me. She filled a bag too of the empathy yarn. So I'm excited to we can text and talk and be like, I found this pattern, and maybe we can share some patterns that we can make with this yarn. Because I think summer tops, I know there's a lot of videos people have talked about. I just watched Professor Pearl just did an episode where she was talking about different summer tops. So definitely go, if I can find which video that was, I'll link it down below. That was a good video, or I'll iCard it. So yeah, I feel like I'm set, and I might even, after everything is settled, I don't know if I need all 6 of these. So if they're, maybe that'll be a giveaway in the next episode or 2, where I give away one of these colors, and you could make that tank top too. Like, how exciting would that be? I'm not so great at knit-alongs, and I don't really host any, but if me and one other person wanted to do it, that would be exciting. So, yeah, we had a good time. Hayes got to do the pool twice, 2 days. It was just windy. The winds were just outrageous. Outrageous. We've been there before, and it's windy, right? So it's there's certain areas down there. It's the kite surfing capital of the US. People come there to kite surf because the winds are constant and they're perfect conditions. And so we had bought a trick kite a few years ago. We took that down, and finally we flew it. And it was amazing conditions. John was doing so good. He had it going all kinds. He was doing tricks. He was yeah, this is cool. And so we had it's always the same people that are there. So everybody talks and everybody has a good time. And some of the other kids were flying the kite, and the adults were flying the kite. And I mean, I think they were out there for 4 hours flying kites. It was a good time. But I will put some video at the end. I think I have a picture of John flying the kite, or video, so I'll put that in too. But yeah, so it was, I'm glad to be home, only because I did not sleep well with that wind. I could not sleep. One of the nights I stayed up, it was 4 hours. I couldn't get back to sleep. I did take a book with me, and it was called One Italian Summer. I will put the name of it down below in my last 10 books I've read list. And that was an actual paper copy, so I'm going to end up putting that in my little free library that we have out front. That was, I wouldn't say it was a 5 out of 5. I wouldn't tell everybody to go read it, but it was a really good, quick read, feel-good read. So I think I gave it 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. I can't remember. But it was interesting. But it was all about the feels, so that's the kind of book it was. So I had bought it just because I wanted to have a physical book when Hayes goes to the pool. The reception down there is not great, and that is another reason I did not post an episode, because there was no way I was going to be able to upload anything. It was just not happening. So having a physical book to read was really wonderful to be able to do that. And all the stuff I had pattern wise, I had screenshot the pattern so I could just pull up the screenshot on my phone and not have to try to access it on my drive and whatnot. Because paper patterns, I don't print like a lot. I printed like the one for Stephen West because I am marking that off, but it's because it's like a 12-page pattern. But yeah, most of the time I don't do that. So other than that, I mean, we didn't really watch anything because, well, you know, we had movies in the camper, so we watched a lot of the movies that we've already seen. So we got to rewatch, you know, Trolls and Night at the Museum. We watched twice because Hazel loves that movie. We played a lot of Triominoes. That was a new game to us. John had went to the game store that's down on the island and bought Triominoes, and we've never played that before. If you've never played it, you should look into it. It's a really great, easy game. So we had a lot of fun playing that. And yeah, it was just a lot of wet clothes, sand, and whatnot. But it was a good time. It was a good time. So I'm going to get back to doing laundry, and I hope everybody is well. And I think in the beginning of this, I said it was episode 206, but I think it's 205, so I may have already corrected myself. But yeah, I need to go mentally recharge from everything and just still keep putting stuff away. So until the next episode, I hope everybody just is taking care of themselves and watching out for each other and taking care of each other and checking in on each other and doing what you need for your own mental health, because that's very important. So I'll talk to you then. And peace, love, and happy crafting.